entire driving career, I've only found myself without a car twice. And the first time was, for some reason, I can't remember what it was. And that's really not important. In fact, everything so far is not important. Maybe I'll start again. Right, so this chap I knew had a 1981 black Mini Mayfair, and he wanted to sell it and I wanted to buy it. So I paid him £30 and a guitar that I had. And the guitar was a really cheapo, nasty catalogue acoustic thing that I never played because it was rubbish. And I don't even know how I ended up with it in the first place. This Mini wasn't in the best of condition. I mean, bodily it looked okay, but it did have that rear subframe issue where it rotted and then suddenly it was crabbing all over the place. And it felt particularly bad going over the moors one day, doing an errand for my brother, and I felt like I was going sideways, because in effect I was. It was an 1100cc motor, I think. Or it might have been less, or it might have been more. I can't even remember. But it wasn't particularly quick. But they never were quick, were they? Let's be honest. They just sounded fast, and they went round corners well. Although this one went round corners in a particular way that I didn't really like. Kind of sideways, when you wanted to not go sideways. This was a very long time ago. In fact, it was about 1994, or it might have been 95. Either way, far too long ago to remember things like mileage or any other issues. Although there was one particular issue that I probably won't forget, and that was that the brakes didn't really work very well. Now this is fine, because if you anticipate what's going on ahead of you, you know your brakes aren't working too well, and you just compensate for it. And that's what I did. Right up until the point I ran into the back of a larder outside Rochdale Town Hall. Yep, a larder. There was a time when larders, them box shapes, were on the road quite a lot. Anyway, the lady that got out of the car came around, had a look and said, "It's only a larder, I shouldn't worry about it anyway." And that is the absolute truth there. Yeah, and I didn't worry about it. This was the first car of a stream of swaps I did in the mid-90s, from a guitar all the way to a Granada 2.8 injection. So, more about that another day. In my earlier cars, they have those pull-out stereos that you go somewhere, you're carrying a stereo around with you everywhere, like a lady's handbag. But with the Mini, either it didn't have a stereo or it didn't have one that you could pull out. And I can't really quite remember. But what I could do though was remove the steering wheel, like in that episode of Mr. Bean. And I used to do it every time. I wouldn't leave the car with a steering wheel. I wanted to make sure I came back to it. Of course, the only flaw in that, how easy it was to take a steering wheel off, meant that possibly if somebody wanted to steal a Mini, they'd just bring a steering wheel along with them. Luckily, that never happened. Like many of the cars I've owned, along with the Capri and some of the Rovers I've had, I had no idea just how valuable this car would be in a few years. So when it came to swapping it, I wasn't really too choosy.